through the back. So they came through my back and helped me. One put the head on my buttocks, the other one held my back, and they were doing bicycle swim until I came up. My head came out and water was coming out. They brought me out, put me on top of the, pushed my stomach, water from everywhere. And I eventually survived, and I'm still alive.
We believe you've been blessed and graciously enriched by this message. For additional information,
When Nwokolo of Diocese on the Niger has charged a battered community in the Idemili North local government area of Anambra State during his episcopal visit to lay up their treasures in heaven. He was speaking at the confirmation admission of Mothers Union, Girls Guild, Anglican Boys Fellowship and Men's Christian Fellowship at the Holy Trinity Anglican Church, Abatete. In his sermon, the Lordship emphasized that treasures should be laid on only in heaven, where moth and thief can't break into steal, saying the greatest pursuit on earth should be on spending eternity with God in heaven. He portrays that whatever could deprive Christians from seeking God and heaven should be cut off from their lives. To the newly confirmed and newly admitted ones into various organizations, Bishop Nwokolo encouraged them to live as ambassadors of Christ wherever they find themselves. Now, the Archbishop of the Catholic Archdiocese of Abuja, Most Reverend Ignatius Kaigama, has advised Nigerians to not to make the mistake of electing a mediocre as the next president of the country in the 2023 elections. Rather, he said electorates should eschew religious or ethnic sentiment and vote for a candidate that is genuinely patriotic, experienced, competent, and sincerely God-fearing. Kaigama's advice came just as the president of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Acnn, Archbishop Daniel Oko, said the church must begin to encourage persons with Christian values, right character, capacity, and competence to participate in politics and take up public offices in the country to sanitize the system and guarantee good governance, while declaring open the third Abuja Catholic Archdiocesan General Assembly at Our Lady Queen of Nigeria Pro Cathedral, Gariki, Abuja. Kaigama said the next political dispensation should be about transparency, accountability, and responsibility. Speaking on the negative impact of religious and ethnic politics pervading the country, Kaigama said, and I quote, "We must begin to take self-serving considerations off the table when it comes to politics. Merit over mediocre is the only approach that will save our country. That is, when we elect leaders, experienced, competent, sincerely God-fearing." The Christian Association of Nigeria, Acnn, Bauchi State chapter has condemned the failed attempt by some yet to be identified gunmen to assassinate the senior special assistant to Bauchi State Governor on Christian religious affairs, Pastor Zaka Magaji. The Bauchi State CAN chairman, Reverend Dr. Abraham Damina, said this when he led officials of the association on a sympathy visit to the house of the governor's aide in Birishi, a community on the outskirts of Bauchi metropolis, as he said that the attack was uncalled for and unfortunate, adding that people should know that life is sacred and must be protected at all costs. Reverend Dr. Damina, who appreciated God that no life was lost during the attack, just as no one was abducted, stressed the need for security to be beefed up across the country, appealing to all concerned security authorities in the state and in the country in general to, as a matter of urgency, step up security measures, especially around areas that are prone to attacks by bandits. Now, the president of the Christ Apostolic Church, Pastor Samuel Oladele, has charged the Christians in the country to vote for a presidential candidate that would protect their interests. The cleric, who condemned the same religion presidential ticket, said same religion ticket was improper. Oladele gave this advice in his address at the annual 2022 Pastors Conference of the CAC held at the camp of the church in Ikeji, Arakeji, Osun State. The four-day conference was themed Grow in the Grace and Knowledge of the Lord, expressing concern about the present situation of the country. The cleric admonished Nigerians not to despair, but to be more prayerful for better days to come and also to walk on the way of righteousness. He also warned the pastors of the church to desist from acts of insubordination and other forms of misconduct, declaring that any pastor caught in unethical acts An international coalition of religious freedom advocates and organizations in America from across the political spectrum and 35 individuals sent a letter to U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken asking the Biden administration to designate Nigeria as a country of particular concern, a designation signifying governments that have engaged in or tolerated particular severe violations of religious freedom. The letter calls for a special envoy to investigate the situation and make recommendations in consultation with local representatives. The letter comes as some human rights advocates have warned for years that predominantly Christian farming communities in the country's middle belt are often attacked by predominantly Muslim ethnic headers. That's all we can take for now. Please join us at 3 p.m. for the news on the hour. I am Charles Philip Huakalam. Bye for now.
Do you want the federal government to get?
The same government was able to have money to buy cars.
The Right Reverend Godwin Adeyi Robinson has admonished Christian faithful to strive to walk while it is day.
The Lord is going to exempt you from wickedness.
Hallelujah. When something is becoming an abuse, so it starts this way, there's an action,